Hi guys, welcome back to the channel and welcome to the BMW 223 xDrive Gran Coupé. Now, I read every comment that you guys put on YouTube, and this actually has been one of the most requested cars I've seen in quite a while. And I think it's quite an interesting car in the lineup. And today we're going to go and take it out on the road and have a little bit of a drive, because we've already done a full in-depth walk around on one of these. But let's just really quickly remind ourselves where this car sits and what it is. So it sits in the 2 Series Gran Coupé lineup, in between the 220 and the M235, pretty much bang in the middle. The difference is, instead of having the 1.5 litre 3-cylinder petrol engine up front that we do in the 220, we've got a 2 litre 4-cylinder petrol engine and xDrive with around 220 horsepower, mild hybrid technology, as I say, that xDrive system, and 0 to 62 in around 6.5 seconds. This could well be the pick of the bunch. But before we go and take a drive, let's really quickly remind ourselves of some of the exterior and interior details. The front end is pretty much identical to the new shape F71 series, with this softer look to the LED lights, a new daytime running light design in there too. The kidney grills are horizontal and not huge, but they are still very signature BMW shape. You've then got this shape down here, this almost point from the roundel down through the car to the front bumper. You're seeing that on most BMW models. The side profile, very different to the 1 Series, of course, because this is the Gran Coupé. It slopes off at the rear instead of going to a traditional hatchback shape. Round the rear is very different to the car that came before, with new daytime running lights, new LED lights, new bumper, and so on. And the interior as well has been completely updated, with brand new operating system in there with wireless Android Auto and Apple CarPlay, new steering wheel, new design to the dash, and it's a really lovely place to sit. But as I say, if you want to see any of our walkarounds on the new 2 Series Gran Coupé, use the link in the top of the screen. I'm going to jump in the driver's seat and let's go and see how this car drives on the road. Welcome then to the driver's seat of the 223 xDrive Gran Coupé, and as I've already mentioned, it's one of those cars that I've been asked multiple times in the comments on YouTube to go and drive, because I think it represents a really, really good option in the 2 Series Gran Coupé lineup. In the previous one, and I know this isn't a direct comparison, we never had quite an equivalent to a 128 Ti, and I'm not for 1 second saying that this car is a new version of that, because it isn't. It's its own thing entirely. Obviously, it's got less power than the 128 Ti did, and it's got xDrive 4-wheel drive, whereas the 128 Ti was only front-wheel drive. So what's this car like? As I've mentioned, we've got a 2 litre 4-cylinder petrol engine up front with around 220 horsepower, so it's got quite a bit more grunt than the 220, a little bit less obviously than the 235, so that means it sits really nicely in the market, right in the middle. But it also offers something a little bit different, because it gives you that xDrive 4-wheel drive as well. It's not just a purely front-wheel drive car, this. It's got xDrive, which I think is a really lovely addition to it. And then, of course, the mild hybrid system, which this car is not a plug-in hybrid. Let's get that out of the bat right away. This is not a plug-in hybrid vehicle. It has mild hybrid. So, for example, we're coming up to a stop now. It'll do the last few yards on battery power, and then the first few yards afterwards on battery power as well, which just helps with fuel economy. Now, mentioning fuel economy, this particular car is actually pretty exceptional. The values on this car, it's done about 570 miles. You may have seen it on some of the internal footage. I'll show you again. It's averaged 52.9 mpg. I mean, need I say more? That is an exceptional number. So this engine, this car is not only got 220 horsepower and a lot of poke, it also does nearly 53 mpg. I mean, however way you dissect that, that is mighty impressive. But what about the rest of the car? Before we get onto the actual performance, we just need to mention what this car is like just pootling around on the road. It's actually really comfortable. You'd expect maybe a smaller product like this to be a little bit harsher on the ride, but it's not. It's just a really lovely thing to drive. I'm going over some really horrible, broken up roads here, but this car is managing it really, really well. It's mighty impressive. The steering is really nice as well. It's nice and light at low speed to aid in low speed maneuverability. And then when you start to speed up a little bit, it weights up and gives actually quite a nice feel to it. There's quite good feedback through the steering wheel, which is actually a real good positive. And it's just a lovely place to sit. This interior is really nice. The quality is really good. It is a fabulous place to sit, great place to spend time. The view out is really good. Even though this is a Gran Coupé with a slightly smaller rear window, the visibility is still very good. Of course, it's not quite as good as it would be in, for example, a 1 Series. But for a car like this with a sloping rear, it's very impressive. It's very, very good. And I do just like the whole feel of the interior of this car. It's really nice. The engine, we'll come on to that now. The engine itself, let's come on to that now, is really smooth at low speeds when you're pootling around like this. It is just really nice at low speeds. The gearbox does a great job. You can only get this car with an automatic gearbox, no manual options, and it's silky smooth. It's really nice it goes through the ratios without you even really knowing. It's just very comfortable, very easy, and very relaxed in here. But you kind of know that deep below there is actually quite a bit of performance potential in this car. So what I'm going to do now is drop into the My Mode section, put it into Sport, and just give it a little bit of a... Well, it picks up its feet really nicely. It definitely feels much fruitier, much faster than the 220. Obviously this car's smaller engined brother. It actually has quite a nice rasp to it as well. It's actually got quite a nice tone to it as well. And that xDrive system means that it handles really well. It's nice and sharp. It's now woken up. Now it's in sport mode. We've now gone from being a really simple... It even sounds good. I know a lot of that is going to be pumped in through the sound system, but I think it could well be the little gem in the lineup, this car. I think it offers everything the 220 does, the comfort, the usability and the style, but just with a little bit more flavour. And of course, as I say, you've got that xDrive system, so if we have a really bad winter, for example, here in the UK, it's going to be really useful. But yeah, it's actually got quite a bit... yeah. It's got quite a bit more pace than the 220. It handles, it's nice and sharp and crisp. Good car. Yeah, mighty impressed with this. I think it is the gem in the lineup. It's got more pace, it's got that xDrive system, it's got this fabulous new interior, the great looks. I think this could well be the one. And if you want any more information on the new BMW 223 xDrive, or any BMW for that matter, please use the link in the description of this video to get in contact with your local Sytner BMW retailer. Please like this video, subscribe to the channel for plenty more content to come, and I will see you guys again very, very soon.